Hello, it's Angela here to share another card with you made with the contents of box 15, which has a honeybee or a bumblebee theme. This one I've made a shaker card, and what I've done there is I've used the card base from the box, which is a nice scalloped edge, and I've laid up some of the papers, and for the centre I've got a piece of card. I've covered it with one of the papers in the box. I thought this one was nice with the gold bumblebees on. And I've used the die, but instead of using the actual die cut itself, which is here, instead of using the die cut, save that for another project. What I've done is I've used the waist outline, just to give the outline of a bumblebee, which adds more interest with the shaker. Nice window there to so you can see everything. What I've done is I've put some acetate on the back of the panel, and I've built up the layers. Now there's a few ways you can make a shaker card. The most common way is usually to put some 3D foam tape around the back and build up the height. Turn it over, fill your design with the sequins on the back, and enclose with a piece on the top to create a self-contained window, and then add that to your card. I make them all sorts of different ways. Sometimes I use funky foam. If you've got that, you can die cut your shape. Here I've used a hexagon because I had some dies handy and it went with the honeycomb theme, but really it doesn't matter. Make it a circle, make it a square. If you don't have a die, just make it, you know, whatever shape you want really, as long as there's enough space around for the bumblebee die to sit in the centre and allow some area for the 3D foam to go around. You want to control where the sequins go, so you really need to be not leaving any gaps around the edges. One of the other ways to make a shaker is to use the funky foam, like I've said, and just die cut your shape and make it a frame. So if I was die cutting a hexagon, I die cut a smaller one inside, so we've got the frame shape, discard the inner for another project, and then just keep building up the frames. For this card I've done it a different way again. I've used, instead of funky foam, I've just used normal card in cream and white just to build it up. Filled it with sequins in gold and silver, and I think these are just some I had left over from Christmas here. I've got some large ones in there, and oh, there's a bumblebee in there, look. And some of the smaller ones, usually find them in shops, so you might have them already, or perhaps put some buttons in. If you're using buttons, just make sure your height's high enough so that they'll shake. Now basically that's a simple card, doesn't need a lot of extra elements. So what I've done is, because I had the paper that has the text pattern on, I've just selected the Be Happy sentiment, mounted it on one of the papers to match, and then just added some of the jewels that are in the kit. So that's it. That's a simple sort of shaker card. Thank you for looking.